Okay, we're gonna get started lying down on our mats in Shavasana. So just make yourself comfortable with whatever props that you want. And if you don't know what you want, just lie down and feel the body settle. Every exhale, just feel yourself drop down. And with every exhale, feel that exhale get longer, softer, smoother. And notice how the in-breath sort of just immediately corresponds with this relaxation of the exhale, softening, melting. Making space for the inhales to rise fluidly, expansively, creating this circle. And as you lay here, just observe how the body settles and notice any imbalances that reveal themselves to you. And make small adjustments as necessary. Maybe you want to scooch the shoulder blades, tucking them down the back, point and flex the toes. And just feel things settle down from there. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead and just let that take a nice long time, and let the arms just rest on the ground. And maybe the elbows bend. Just feeling this nice extension through the armpits, the inner seams of the arms. Notice how the breath feels in the heart space. And thinking of every posture as a way to experiment and just feel this deep breath, this sort of control, this true breath, calm and easy and flowing. See how you can bring that into different shapes that the body takes on through the course of this practice. In the general course of our existence, just as moving creatures and body. Walk your right heel over to the right corner of the mat and let the left heel come to meet it. Maybe cross the left ankle over the right ankle. So the whole bottom side of the body is arching down towards the right corner of the mat. And then keeping your hips heavy, take your shoulders and your arms and bring them over to the top right corner of the mat, and just bringing the body into this crescent moon shape that's nice. Full opening through the left side of the body. You can grab onto the left wrist with your right hand and use that to deepen the stretch, keeping the shoulders on the earth, the hips steady on the earth, the heels steady on the earth. A few more breaths to find the shape, expansive breath. Releasing the pose and letting yourself come back to center. Feeling the transformation. And then moving to the second side, walking the heels over to the left. And then the arms and shoulders wiggling over to the top left corner. Finding this crescent pose. A couple of breaths more to really settle in. And then releasing back to center again. Bending the knees, planting the soles of the feet on the earth. And first lifting the hips just to center the spine, tucking the tailbone, finding a nice, easeful, long line all the way up the spine, the center of the body. And bring your hands down alongside the hips. And as you're ready, inhale, press into the heels to lift the hips up and just press the palms down into the earth. Feeling the breath completely. And then exhale, rolling down, emptying the breath completely. Inhaling, the hips lift. And exhale, rolling the spine down, really articulating the roll down, feeling each vertebra unfurl. Inhale, the spine lifts, the hips lift. Exhale, rolling down. And now let's bring the arms into it. So as you inhale, the arms lift up and all the way over, tapping down on the earth. And then exhale, rolling the hips down, bringing the hands down, letting your movement be synchronized as you land. And then again, synchronize as you inhale and lift. And then rolling down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering, resting. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side, just massaging the lower back. And then maybe you want to take that massage into being circles with the knees. Doesn't matter which direction you go in, just take a few breaths. Paying attention to this area of the body, really trying to bring some relief to the body. And when you next turn on an inhale, just switch the direction of the circle. And spend a few breaths here. And coming back to center. Letting the feet come back down to the earth and taking the feet as wide as the mat now, letting your arms fall open. I have them in like kind of a goal post, so cactus arms going out from the shoulders. Inhaling in the center. And then exhale, let the knees fall over to one side and just rest here. Breathing into the form, finding the space through the body, the breath flowing through the body. Shoulders get heavy. The skin on the face gets soft. One more inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth, let it go, make a noise. And then inhale, let the knees roll up through center, coming back to the central line. Let the knees knock into the center and just take a breath here. And when you're ready, on an exhale, the knees fall over to the other side, taking the twist in the opposite direction. Using the breath to make space in the body. Inhale the knees to center. Exhale, let the knees fall in towards each other. Rolling onto one side and pushing up to a seated position. Taking your time, keeping it easy, keeping it slow. And finding a cross-legged position or a kneeling position and using any props you want to. Maybe a blanket for me. And it doesn't matter which leg is in front, but just notice which one is, because we will switch in a moment. But for now, just finding this central seat, and you want to feel the sit bones dropping down into the mat. The tailbone drops down, and feel how you just shift back, Have to reorient the shoulders. Inhale, lift the heart to do that. And then exhale, feel the shoulders slide down into the space that the inhale created. And then we'll do the same thing with the back of the neck. So as you inhale, feel the crown of the head lift, the back of the neck lengthen. And then as you exhale, feel yourself maintain that space and settle around it. Finding the antenna of the spine. Lifting up from the earth. And then let's start to make some circular movement. So on an inhale, take your chest over to the left and lean forward, and then exhale, rolling to the right and leaning back, curling into the spine, and just moving the breath in this circular fashion. Inhale, come back to center. Taking a breath or two to reassert the antenna of the spine. And then whichever leg is in front, take that hand and place it down in front of the calf, the shin. So for me, that's my left hand coming down in front of my left shin. And on an inhale, I'm going to open my right arm up to the sky, stretching through the chest. Opening, lifting the gaze if that feels right in your neck, to those fingertips extending out behind you. And expanding the breath through the form. One more inhale. Exhale, come back through center. And just switch the crossing of the legs. And find that central antenna. And notice if it's different from side to side. It might be, there's differences in our skeletons on how your hip bones sit. So a lot of things can go on there. So make yourself accommodations as needed. And find that breath in the central line. And then start to make those circles. So now you'll inhale to the right and forward, exhale to the left and round back. And notice if it was more intuitive for you to move in one direction or the other direction. If the body held a certain fluency on one side or holds just a different set of tensions on one side. Just notice that. And then find your inhale, lifting down, grounding down, antenna shooting up. Preparing for that open twist to the opposite side. So for me, my right hand comes in front of my right shin, and my left hand inhales to open to the sky.
Feeling the space in the heart, but also feeling the breath in the back. So maintaining that easeful line up from the tailbone to the crown. One more inhale here. And an exhale coming back to center. Feeling everything settle back to the center line. Notice if the body more easily finds that central line, if there's just a more fluent communication between the mind and the body. And then bring your legs wide. And some people really like to have props here, something to drape forward on. Your legs don't have to be super wide, just bring them as wide as is comfortable for you. So you can have a pillow. You might put some blocks underneath the pillow. You're gonna fold forward onto this ramp. So you can make a ramp. I don't feel like using props. So I'm just going to keep sitting on my support because that feels great. First, I'm going to find my feet flexing back towards the body, the toes lifting. The legs are active. Feel the tailbone drop down, find the antenna of the spine lifting up as you inhale. And then exhale to start to walk yourself forward. As far as makes sense for you. And then once you kind of confirm your position and find that nice relaxed line up through the back of the neck, rising all the way from the tailbone, then you can relax the legs and relax the effort of the pose. And if you would like your knees to be bent here, that's totally fine as well. We're just looking to find this nice comprehensive stretch through the back of the body. Something that's sustainable and comfortable and allows you to ease deeper. As we hold and breathe. Notice if there's one side that is really feeling it. Notice if you're feeling the stretch in slightly different places on either side of the body. Just a few more breaths. And then inhale. Lift up through center. Bring the soles of the feet together. We'll take one more forward fold before we start moving back towards rest. Grabbing onto the ankles and pulling back to feel the spine lift. Feel the length come into the spine as the knees move down towards the ground. Inhale here, feel your heart lift, feel the spine lift. And then exhale,
Fold forward, running the spine round. And bringing the breath into the lower back and letting it radiate out from there as you inhale, expanding, making space, and then as you exhale, bringing ease into that space. Riding the wave of the breath. Inhale, rolling up, stacking the spine, and shifting off of any props that you may have. We'll come down to a resting position. We're either going to do legs up the wall if you like that, or if you like to stack the blocks and have your legs up in the air. I really like that. Or a supported bridge with the feet on the ground. And for me, I'm going to use 2 blocks stacked on their lowest setting for my legs up in the air situation, but use your props as you want to. You can use your pillow if you're just going for something very cozy and comfy. Just taking care and taking time to set yourself up. And that actually feels really high for me right now. So I'm going to take 1 block out, turn it, the other one up on its medium setting. Oh yeah, and that supports my sacrum in a much more manageable way for me today. And not being in a rush to get anywhere. So just taking your time and taking the breath along the way. And again, as we're here in the shape, in the pose, noticing how the breath moves through the body, and also noticing where you can make space for the breath to move more expansively through the body. So noticing any imbalances, seeing if you can become aware and make adjustments as needed. Exhale, when you're ready, bringing yourself gradually out of the pose and taking a few breaths to do that, to bring yourself all the way down to the earth. And bring the hands to the body and walk the feet out as wide as the mat and let the knees fall into center. And notice if you are actually centered on the mat, and just take the time to make yourself sama, equal, as much as possible on both sides. Noticing maybe if your head has a tendency to lean off to one side, then try to bring it into center. And from there, maybe you've noticed sort of a ripple effect down the body, noticing that one side of the body is maybe lifted, more tense, and seeing if you can just roll the shoulder underneath you, both sides equally planted on the mat, and then move down to your hips. See if they are evenly situated on the mat. And then the awareness comes down to the feet and see how they feel on the mat. Can you plant into both feet equally, bringing the knees up to the sky? And feel all four corners of the feet grounding down. Like you could, if you wanted to, lift the hips up back into that bridge pose, a wide bridge pose. That much power in the feet. And then taking the arms out to a T again. Inhaling in the center. Exhale, let the knees fall to one side. And maybe you want to bring a prop underneath the legs to really release down into a support. I brought a block underneath my knee. A few breaths here in the twist. Maybe your head turns in the opposite direction of the knees. Beginning to let go of some of the vigor of the breath, but maintaining the expansiveness, just making it soft and a little bit more fluid. And when you're ready, or just shift up and over to the other side, riding those soft waves of breath. When you're ready, softly and fluidly transition yourself in your own time back to center, and just hug the knees in for a breath or two. Feeling the length of the spine releasing down to the earth. And as you're ready, extending the legs out into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Deciding if you want any props. Settling in. Allowing the body to unfurl, expand, and absorb. Really settling in, knowing that we're going to remain here for another 3 minutes. Or as long as you want.